don't know what's going on. Technical errors. Yeah, evidently I tried to start it. I do need coffee. I tried to schedule it and then it like locked it into the position for upside down, and I don't know why. I don't know if I can fix it. I might be able to fix it, but let me try a different camera stand. Ah! Because we need to go this way. This is what happens when I try to go from a different angle today. It's trying to give us a different backdrop. Well, yeah, it's fixed because I'm hand holding it, Frank. Hold on. Trying to get this set up so it will stand on a tripod. So obviously the scheduling, the live stream button didn't quite work because, yeah, see, that's too low. Hold on. Because I needed my extra 5 minutes. Give these little legs, maybe it'll stand a little taller. Drunken camera. If I sit way back here, you can see me. Oh, the good old technical issue. Let's see. Something for it to sit on. Here. Good old my aquarium box. Maybe that'll work. Give it some height. There we go. Now it's not just staring at my chest. Look, we can see my shrimp painting in the back. Pull that up, mute that, so I can get my chat. So, good morning, Nisi, V-Stag, and Frank. Welcome. Oh, and HC Aqua. Welcome, welcome. We had a momentary disorientation, and just give me 1 second because I have to grab my coffee. I'm also feel like doing a water change at this exact moment. So I went, well, okay, so this week is finals week, and yes, this is a coffee-powered activity. Well, it's a hot tea. So I went to, so the school I work at does their graduation at the big fashion show mall on the Strip in Vegas. And so yesterday I spent the whole day at the mall. And there's a few stores in that mall that there aren't anywhere else. So I went to Lush and got some cool bath bombs, and I went to Tivana and I impulse bought its white chocolate peppermint tea, and it's delicious. It tastes like Christmas cocoa and hot black tea, and it's just super yummy and very Christmassy. And since it doesn't look like Christmas outside, I'm trying to make it feel like Christmas inside. So I've put up my twinkly lights. Well, they're not twinkly, but I put up the lights around the fishies, the little tanks, and around my plants. And I've got myself Christmas tea, And maybe, just maybe, I might set up my tree this weekend. It's kind of a weird time because right after finals, like, so this is only going to be an hour today because I have a work meeting at 12. We have a work lunch party, end of the year thing that I have to go to, so I have to I have to remember I'm doing a water change, because if I flood my living room when we're doing this, I'll be really embarrassed. Not that you probably all haven't done that at some point or another. But I have this work party I have to get to, so I can't forget. We can't go for 3 hours today, unfortunately. But you know, we'll still have some fun while we're here. So I thought it was yeah, party time. It's always funny because so there's a culinary department, so you think we'd have really great food, but most of it's just like stuff from Costco, and I'm like, why aren't we having a better party? Like, why aren't the chefs making us gourmet food? But it's it'll be fun. And then I've been thinking of what the critters want to get me for Christmas. Put it in the background so we can. Yeah, it's right in front of me, so I can keep a decent eye on it. It's a little harder to move this setup around. I just have to keep reminding myself, I'm doing the water change, I'm doing the water change. Also, because I don't want to leave their power off. It's the, actually, we could probably turn the water off. It's about 3 inches down. But I was watching Joel's stream last night, and he was going over, like, what you should and shouldn't buy your fish keeper in your life, and I'm like, no, I need all of those things you're telling not to buy. Like, I seriously, so the 55, which is what I'm doing the water change on, the python that I have barely reaches it. And like, to make it reach, I have to like make sure like it's strung across the living room. Here, I can actually show you since we're pretty mobile. Like, maybe. It's strung across this chair and over to the living room. You know, just so I don't, I moved the camera and now it's all going to hell in a handbasket. But like I have to string it like just so, or it doesn't reach the tank. So like sometimes I'll be bad and I don't do a water change on that tank that day because it's a hassle to like get it there, and I just like, I can't reach it, oh, I'm tired, I'm done, I don't want to do it. So I think Santa needs to bring me a 50-foot python because this is a 25-footer. Okay, I'm gonna go turn the water off. There we go. I'd rather it a few inches low. Oh, I'll turn the tank back on too. Than not have it flood. With the tank, it actually kind of ran a little low, so it was, one of the pumps wasn't actually turning water, and so I was like, I have to get that. So Nisi says, that's funny, I get my pets presents. 4 years ago, I got my senior dog a cat that she loves. That's awesome. And 3 years ago, I got the cat a beta, older beta, etc., etc. Well, see, I get my cat presents because she's an adoptee, and I think we mentioned this last week or on a live stream somewhere, that because she was adopted and she was about 9 months old when I got her in October, we just tagged her birthday as Christmas. So she gets Christmas and birthday presents at Christmas. Generally, as long as it's this one specific toy that she absolutely adores, and she just lost it to the vacuum cleaner. I mean, it got shredded. You would think a Roomba wouldn't be able to eat a toy quite that well, but it just shredded them. But she likes these very specific toys. Luckily, they're like $3 on Amazon. They're like, they always look like roadkill. I have one right here. I make a mess. So what I mean by roadkill, see, it's like a dead squirrel It only has 2 feet and its little ears. And then this used to be on one of those dowels, so it was a tease toy. And these are her favorite. But what happens is she chews on this, the little part that hooks to the dowel, and then the glue comes undone. And then she just has a toy on a string. And yeah, they're super cheap. These things on Amazon I think cost like me $3 or $4. She loves them. She has a basket full of toys and she only plays with these because that's how picky my cat is. But then they get to this point and then they're this huge vacuum cleaner hazard because the vacuum sucks it up and then eats this all. And then we'd had one where I'd cut off this part, which is what I need to do with this guy. Cut/pull. And then the vacuum had ate it and kind of just shredded it to pieces. So this is her 5th one, but she literally only plays with one at a time. And you know, some of them, once they've had just a string, I've tied them to the cat tree or whatever so she can play with it. Nope, she likes this, and she literally plays fetch with it. She'll bring it to me. But the electronic vacuum, auto vacuum thing does pose a slight problem for very flat cat toys. Like if it was a ball, it would just push it around, but because it's really flat, it sucks it up and then tries to eat it and then it throws an error. So it's pretty funny. Frank says he bought his puppy a rubber bouncing turtle and I play with it more than he does. Well, yes, I mean, there's that. I think half the dog toys that I buy for my puppers, I end up playing with more. At orientation for this quarter, they gave us a bunch of random things like those light up bouncing balls. And I was like, oh, I'll take one. Maybe the cat will like it. Which, I mean, she looked at it and played with it a little, but she's honestly usually more interested in attacking the corners of the rugs and chasing like milk caps, those little tabs that you pull out of the milk container. Those are her favorite toys. So, you know, what she finds on the, you know, a pen is more interesting to her than an actual cat toy. And I think the dogs often are like that too, although my dogs always had different personalities. I had one that had to have the de-stuffed toys, because if she got a toy that had stuffing in it, she would just rip a hole in it, pull out all the stuffing, and then she loved it. And then I had another one that liked killing the squeaky toy, the squeakers, and once the squeakers were dead, it was no fun anymore. So I found these ones that were not, like, they had 9 squeakies, so 3 by 3 squeakies, and then it'd have like head and a couple feet, but they were really just flat squares. And she loved it because she had 9 squeakies to kill. And then the other dog liked it because it was flat and didn't have stuffing, so it worked out as a twofer. Yeah, HT Aqua says, yeah, screw real toys, my kids like cardboard boxes. Well, yeah, like cats are notorious for the cardboard boxing. Lavender actually isn't big. She doesn't like get in cardboard boxes like my friends' cats do, where they're like, it's cardboard, I must sit in it. But she does like to play with them. So Nisi says her failed barn cat rescue likes tennis balls and 5-pound pupperoonies like cat toys. They like the kid, they're like the kids. They like what they like, and you can't tell them differently. Exactly. I mean, I think that's where individual pets get their individual personalities. You know, they like certain things. They're gonna favorite. My mom has Papillons. They're smaller than my cat. You can't buy dog toys for them. I mean, you can find some specialty places carry very little, like tiny dog toys. But in all honesty, I mean, they're 3 pounds. They have these little tiny muzzles. And, you know, they're better off in the cat section because they have about the same size mouth as my cat, although my cat is like 3 times bigger than them, which I always make fun of them because, you know, My cat is terrified of my dog that lives with my parents, who's about 30-pound American Eskimo. And, you know, he's a medium dog. But she sees him and she hisses and it's like, oh my God, the world's gonna end. And then she sees the Papillons and she's like, what's that thing? Like she's not, but they're like half to a third of her size. Yeah, toys are cheaper in the cat section too. I mean, probably because they're not as worried about making them like indestructible. I mean, you don't see a cat needing a Kong ball, right? Because they don't need something that's like heavy duty plastic. They get wispy toys with sparkles and that. Although my cat doesn't, because she would totally eat that. She's like, oh, it has sequins on it. I'm going to eat all of that off. It's the same thing when I buy new toys for Ducky. I often shop in the rodent section instead of the bird toys because he likes things that he can tear apart, and they're a little bit stronger. You know, they'll have like the wood balls with the nuts inside of them. Hey, Steamfot, we're just talking about buying presents for our critters because we're all obsessed with them. So you have to decide, what are you buying your snake for Christmas? My guess is a little mouse for it to eat. How is your snake doing, by the way? I haven't caught a live stream in so long, I don't know if there's been an update. Random coffee time. New puppy? You got a new puppy? This is what I missed by working nights. Ah, new puppies are the bestest. Yes, new puppies will need lots of toys. You have to find out if he's a shredder or a de-squeaker fire, or if he's I'm kind to my toys and let them live peacefully while I play with them kid. Have you posted his picture on the page? Because I haven't seen it. I mean, I'm on Facebook every day. I would have thought I would have seen new puppy pictures. I mean, they're like what my whole my whole Facebook trolling is about: kitten and puppy pictures, and occasionally people's children. Love sticks. Ooh, it's just awkward. Asks, is it a Great Dane? Or it's a Great Dane? Oh, Great Danes love to play. They're just such a playing, like, active breed. Yeah, not little things though, because they'll like swallow a sock whole. You can tell my tea's hot. Just fogged up my glasses. Doggo Argentina. I'll have to Google that. See if my computer will let me copy and paste chat. Oh, okay. So an Argentine Mastiff. Cool. Very cool. Smart dogs. Of course, wrinkly probably as puppies because they haven't grown into all that skin yet. Very pretty. Oh yeah, don't crop the ears. It's actually funny because, like, I mean, so I used to show dogs for years, and the American Eskimos showed along with the American Pit Bull Terriers and the Staffordshire Terriers and a lot of the bully breeds. And it's always funny when people stopped, like, because for the longest time, like, the standard required them to crop their ears and their tails and stuff as puppies, depending on the breed. And when they started allowing them not to crop, they just, like, they soften the dog so much. I mean, even with the Great Danes, like, when they crop those really long, tall ears on them, it makes them look a lot harsher than when they have the big flop, because they're usually flop front, and it just softens the face and it makes them look real sweet. And it's less intimidating to people that have like this, like the fighting dog reasons for why they originally cropped the ears. 10 months old and 45 pounds. Yeah, just gonna be just a little bitty thing, huh? Yeah, my mom's dogs at 10 months old are like 1.5 pounds. I think they still like measure them in grams. Well, that's exciting. New puppies and such for the holidays to shop for. It's super great. I wish I could have a puppy here, but my work schedule, I mean, I'd love to bring my dog here, but one, my landlord, there's a 10-pound limit on the pets, which I still think my cat is over 10 pounds. But you know, they're like thinking dogs when they say 10-pound limit. I don't think they really care on a cat. And then I work 12 to 14-hour days, so you know, it's, you know, my fish tanks are over. I'm telling you, so they have me scheduled for my first inspection. They do an inspection every 3 months through the rental agency, and I'm a little nervous. I mean, not nervous because I asked like 7 times. Fish tanks are okay. Oh yeah, no, fish tanks are fine. Oh, you're sure? Like aquariums and fish tanks are fine. Yeah. You know, I asked my real estate agent. I asked the people when I was signing the lease directly, and they're like, yeah, they're fine. And I'm like, I have a 75, a 55, a 40, and then these 2 5s and a 10-gallon, all just in the living room. So it's like, I sure hope they don't come in and be like, oh, well, we didn't know you meant that kind of aquariums. You need to pay, you know, like, or we're not happy with that. Nisi says, any dog under 15 pounds is more likely to wreck an apartment. Your landlord might not have had small breeds before. Yeah, I mean, my mom's little ones, I mean, they're just almost impossible to 100% potty train. You know, they're 90% potty trained, but they still have tons of accidents and that in the house. And I mean, my dog doesn't do that. The Esky didn't. Yeah, some of the giant breeds, like the Mastiffs, the like Bernese Mountain Dogs, those big breeds, they actually are generally lower energy once you get through puppyhood. I mean, puppyhood can be destructive, but most of the people I knew that had like Bernese Mountain Dogs, they had more issues with them like eating socks and like going in the hamper and pulling them out and like swallowing them and having vet issues than they did them ever destroying apartment stuff. My little puppies, it was mostly like learning not to chew on furniture when they were little. The American Eskimos would stay about the 30 pounds, 25 to 30 pounds. And I mean, that's fairly easily dealt with. A little bitter apple and you can teach them that, you know, the legs of the furniture aren't chew toys. Although I did once have a dog who liked to eat drywall. It was really weird. He would sit there and lick the wall and like kind of at it until he had a hole in the drywall. He wasn't mentally right though. He had a lot of really bad health issues when he was a puppy and probably messed up his brain a little. So Steenfot says he's been lucky twice. My husky wasn't a chewer, and it appears my new puppy is not a chewer. Knock on wood. Yeah. Here, extra on the table for you. Yeah, I mean, it's great when they're not. I mean, obviously, being a smart dog owner, you also have appropriate chew toys for him. I'm sure you probably have, you know, Kong balls or, you know, those sort of rope toys. So if he has the desire to gnaw, you can kind of give him something for that. You know, I just think it was weird. My my Maverick, he was he always got into things. He once ate a chapter of my Bible, which was hilarious and funny. And then not so funny was when he ate a whole bottle of prescription painkillers, and he then had to spend 2 days in ER getting fluids and recovery. So that's, I think, when he tweaked his little brain a little. He squeaks his ball all day long. Aw. Cute, except slightly annoying when you're trying to do other things. HC says, my youngest dog chews live extension cords. He's still alive somehow. I'm telling you, my bird and my cat did that. Like, they love playing with the charging cords. It's one reason, like, I mean, obviously my bird doesn't get out unsupervised anymore, but it used to be like the ends of like phone charging cords. Both of them chewed on those when they were little. Lavender has got over that. Maybe she got electrocuted once too many times. Yeah, Nisi says, if he starts chewing, buy some bitter apple and spray it on everything. My grandpupper likes to chew on wood. And then Bob says his husky used to love plastic bottles just for the crinkly noise. Never liked squeaky noises. But had them. They make stuffed toys where you can put a plastic water bottle inside of it so it's crunchy. I had a couple dogs that like that, of course. And then these now, like, they make the water bottles extra soft so you can squish them when you get to recycle, or so they more fit in your recycling bin. I don't know. So they're extra crunchy sounding. It is the temptation with any animal, I think. You get one, and then you're like, I want another one. And then I want 1,000,000 of them. Nisi says she hides all the squeaky toys because she is truly evil. I mean, I'm not kidding. Like, I would love to get a second cat, but I honestly think, like, one would lead to, like, 20. So Bob says when he takes him to PetSmart later, whatever he rips off the rack he's getting. Okay, just make sure you don't walk down the chew toy aisle. You're gonna be buying the whole store. I used to take my dogs I was training for competition obedience. We'd go to the pet store and we'd use like the chewy aisle because that's like with all the really great smells, and they'd have to do the healing and they'd have to pay attention and all that, because that was like training them to ignore outside distractions. Oh, that's too bad, Nisi. She says she got a second cat and they fight when they see each other. Yeah, that's the one thing. Like, it's hard to go from one cat to just two. I think it's generally better either you get 2 cats together, get a serval. Oh my God. Then my bird would be toast for sure. You can get kittens together and they'll grow up, usually be just fine. Sometimes like a male and female will get along when they're a little older, but like now she's like 4. I think she wouldn't be very happy with new cats. And if I was to get, you'd have to get like that kind of like a pack of them so that they have a way to disperse the fight. Oh, Bob, you should get a bird. A toucan might be a little hard to get a hold of, though. There's a macaw rescue in Seattle. I remember when I was searching to find a breeder for Ducky, that they had a bunch of different birds. Yeah, they're like 10K, yeah. Okay, so it's not that you can't find them, they're just hella expensive. Yeah, Steenfott's Exotic Pets. Steenfott's Exotic Pet Emporium. Because, you know, when we change our YouTube names, we need to make them long and obnoxious. Yeah, you get more coffee, Nisi. I'm finally getting to drink my tea. It's almost not too hot. Tastes delicious. Tastes like Christmas in a cup. So yeah, I think for Christmas I the kids might be getting me a 20 or 50-foot python hose, and I don't know. I really would like those longfin super red plecos, but I don't have a tank for them. So that means they'd have to get me an aquarium. We'll see how the landlord deals with the 5 aquariums, 6 aquariums. Geez, I can't even count how many there are before I think about putting any more in. Steenfots Exotics. I don't think you'd put 2 apostrophes in there. Like, it's Steenfots Exotics, because exotics would be more than 1. But there's nothing belonging to the exotics. That's your grammar lesson of the day, Nisi. Any good fish stores in Las Vegas? Been there a million times, but never for fish stores. I should be heading there in February. Well, you'll have to let me know. Maybe we can grab coffee or something. It'd be nice to meet some of the fish fam in person. There are some good fish stores. They really are saltwater focused in Las Vegas. So there's only a couple that have freshwater. One sort of specializes in your Africans and your exotic plecos. Yeah. I mean, there's amazing saltwater stores. I mean, just beautiful coral, beautiful saltwater species, some really nice saltwater places, which I might even go, like, if I'm looking for a big tank, like, I might head to those because they're going to have ones where they're set up for sumps and everything. But it does seem like the ones that carry fresh carry what you wouldn't see at Petco. So they tend to not have so many of, you know, your standard tetras and like cherry barbs, but they have a little bit more unique tetras, and they have more unique plecos. You know, they have lots of, the one brings in a lot of the different variety plecos. The hardest thing for me is they never bring in enough for me to be like, ooh, I'll get those as a breeding group. Of course, when they're $150 a piece, maybe I don't need to drop $6 or 6 on for 6 of them. Maybe it's a good thing. Although they probably would, because they seem really nice. I've bought an aquarium at the Tropicana Fish. It's Trop Fish. It's on Tropicana. I bought the 55 when I moved here because the 55 that I had up in Washington was leaking and it was super old. So I was like, just chuck it in the dumpster and I'll buy a new 55 once I get to Vegas. And they have a nice frozen food section, but they're half fresh, half salt, but they have amazing selection of hardscape. So they have all the really nice stone, you know, the Siri, the lace rock, the holy rock, you know, all the fancy stones. So, I mean, it's way better than Yakima, Central Washington, where there wasn't a store for 45 minutes, and even that was a pet store that had fish, you know. And then the hour-and-a-half one had a nice fish selection, or driving all the way to Seattle. So, I mean, way better in that aspect. But, and there's fish stores I haven't visited yet. I've just heard about through the grapevine. There's a bunch on the north side of Vegas, but I'm on the south side of Vegas. And, you know, I mean, the traffic's just can be just as bad as Seattle. I mean, it takes me 25 minutes to get to the Strip, and it would take another 25 minutes to go to North Vegas from there. So, you know, it's like a 45-minute drive to the other side of Vegas. So I haven't investigated those places yet. They're on the list to do, but my work keeps me so busy that I generally am just doing house stuff and playing with my critters when I'm not working. I'm currently being attacked by a cat. It's funny, she doesn't attack my feet except if they're in socks, and then they're fair game. Or, you know, under blankets. The standard cat attack method. Oh yeah, I mean, you see those fish, HC says I'm always in awe of the fish stores in Asia. Yeah, I mean, you see those videos on you know, like Corey went and Solid Gold went, and oh my God, they're just great. Like, they're just amazing. Like, they have, I can't remember who went. I just watched one not too long ago on a Pleco specialty store, and it was just like hundreds and hundreds of varieties and hundreds of types of you know, exotic ones that we can't get. Yeah, I'm sure Germany do. I kind of like, I'm like, I want to move to Europe because they get all the cool fish there. All the ones that we don't get, or like we barely, like, you know. I just feel like the US pet store tends to stay with the very commercialized farmed fish, which is good because it's an industry, but they don't seem to specialize in, like, there's not a lot that specialize in like the really unique fish, and maybe that's because the fish keepers here, there's a lot more people that just want a goldfish in a bowl than, you know, the idea of fish isn't quite the same. I just think, like, I think it was Joey when he went to England to do the fish thing. He toured a couple people's places, and like what they do with like an 8x8 shed to make these amazing aquarium rooms and stuff, and the species they're keeping, and just is so cool. Yeah, it would be fun to travel the world and then also not just go to fish stores, but actually get to see fish rooms. I guess you have to be a bit bigger on the YouTube fish community before you get invites to people's fish rooms all over the world. Hi Candy, good morning. Or is it afternoon in Montana? So I was wondering what you guys, if there's one piece of fish or one fish thing you guys could get for Christmas, what do you want for Christmas that's fish stuff? Like, and obviously this is like, I mean, I'm not gonna be buying anyone stuff. I can't buy my parents like lights for the big tank. Nisi, how big's the big tank? Big tank's always, is that the 75? Or did you get something larger? Candy wants a 125. Lights and plants. Ooh, that would be nice. I wouldn't mind upgrading the 75. Oh, Nisi's is the 125 with lights and plants. She got a huge tank. 125. 125 is really the size of a 75, just longer, right? It's 6 feet long, isn't it? Candy wants a 125. I keep going back between wanting the 120, which I have had before, that 4x2x2, or going like, well, screw it. If I want that big, I want a 2x2 by like 6 or 8 feet. Because I'm like I'm kind of missing my rainbows. You know, we've had this talk a couple of times. I'm missing the rainbows, But I'm like, I don't really know if the 4 foot's really big enough for them. Like, I was having issues when they all got really big, that they just didn't feel like they had enough swimming room. And so then I'm like, it'd be nice to get a 6 foot or something like that. So there's a little bit more open space. Because right now it's like the aquascaping on the 75, it's like all these tall plants going towards the middle and then a little bit lower section, but because the plants don't have enough space to be apart from each other, they're really just like, it all just fills in. I wouldn't mind to go something that's like 30 inches by 30 inches and longer. I don't know if they make that or if that would be a custom size, but my crims are just so big for the tank. Like, I really like feel that they need a much taller and longer tank so they can really spread out. So let's see. Oh, hi, Dank Tanks. So Nisi says, Doug won't let me officially release the 20 long rack yet either. It's my project. Let me finish my video. It'll be a year before I can show pictures/videos. Well, at least it won't be a year before maybe you can get some fish in there. Steve, no, I didn't really have issues with the aquariums overheating this summer. I mean, I just put heaters in like a couple weeks ago. Actually put heaters back in the tanks. So I kept the house at 80. That was the most I could spend on electricity. And the tanks stayed right around 76. So they were fine. I did lose my rainbows in my move. That's what happened with them. I'll have to keep an eye on the little shrimp tanks. These guys here this next summer, because they're such a small volume, they do get quite a lot of evaporation. Yeah, Dank Tanks. AC, it's called air conditioning. But it is hella expensive to air conditioning when it's 120 degrees outside. And I had to look it up because all the Celsius inclined countries, which, you know, everywhere pretty much but here, is always complaining that it's like, oh, it's 30 something or it's 40 something degrees. And then I was like, okay, so what is 120 plus Fahrenheit in Celsius? It's 50 degrees. So unless it gets over 50 degrees Celsius, nobody's allowed to complain to me because it's like that for months on end here. I am not looking for, I mean, everyone still thinks that it's cold, and it's like, it's 64 outside right now. It's not cold. It's pleasant. That's like, I ideally, if I could pick a temperature and live somewhere that was one temperature all year long, it would be 65 degrees. Because you can put on a light sweater, or you can put on a coat and a t-shirt. You can go do physical activities because you won't get overheated, you know. Try 21. I don't mind 21. I have clothes for that. I mean, yeah, but I'm laughing because I just moved from Central Washington where all my friends have snow right now, and here it's 65, which to me is ideal weather. Yeah, Nisi says she'd get out the tanning oil for 65. That's, yeah, and it's nice. It's not humid 65. It's just nice. And I mean, I would kill for some humidity at this point because I'd really like some rain. It doesn't, and it just never rains here. It kind of monsoons a little in the summer, and that's about it. And then I know people that are like, oh, I'll never go to Vegas again. It was so hot. And I was like, well, just go in winter. Like, you know, it was funny. So I was at the mall on the Strip yesterday, like I was saying earlier, and almost every shop I went into, they're like, oh, where are you from? And I'm like, well, I just moved here from Washington, but I live here. But I mean, it's just like, that's why I think it's weird, like, to go to the Fashion Show Mall. Like, it's right on the Strip. It's right by the god-awful Trump Tower, and that thing is the ugliest building on the Strip. And then it's, you know, across from, I think it's, oh, I can't remember. I don't pay attention to the hotels. My students go down there to take pictures, and there's some beautiful hotels and stuff in the Caesars and that, but I hate the congestion. It works into my anxiety. Like, there's too many people, there's too much stuff going on. I get disoriented in hotels. But yeah, I mean, this is ideal time to come visit because it's really nice out and you can still use the pools. I'm sure they're heated. I would not, however, suggest visiting anywhere between like end of May to the end of October. Hey Frank, which part of California are you in? I'm headed to San Diego for Christmas to visit the folks. They're in North County. Oh, aren't you by where the fires were? Or was that a few too? I can't remember. Someone was really close to the fires. Valencia. Yeah. So it was you. I remember, like, because you got hit by those, and my sister and some of my family friends were in Fallbrook, and they got hit by the lilac fires where they were evacuated for a couple days. Well, I'm glad that's mostly contained now, right? I'm hoping so. It's been like a week. Were you there during the 2007 fires? Those were just hellish. That's so mostly contained. Well, good. I'm glad you weren't directly affected other than smoke and all that nastiness, because man, during the 2007 fires, I was having the worst time because, I mean, I was surrounded by flames and I couldn't, like, the smoke, I'm really sensitive to smoke inhalation, and this just, like, it was killing me, my lungs, but at the same time, it was like I wasn't going to evacuate unless I had to. And then they were evacuating to the Qualcomm Stadium, which was still surrounded by fire, so it wasn't like that was going to get me better air. But at that time, I had like 5 dogs I would have had to evacuate with, so it would have been a heck of a pain in the ass to get off the property at my parents' house. Yeah, I mean, I did grow up. It's funny because I'm like, so like, I miss snow, I miss the cold weather. I mean, it's just like 6 years in the Pacific Northwest, and I got so accustomed to seasons. And I'm sure, like, maybe next year 65 will be cold and I'll have to turn my heater up higher. But my students think I'm crazy because I only turned the heat up to 65. And then I didn't tell them that night I let it drop down to like 58, because 65 to me is still kind of hot to sleep with all the blankets on. Oh, Bob, that's so sad. I hate it when fish come in sick. He says he ordered 10 rainbows and they are all probably going to die. Came in with ick, fungus, and ammonia burns. So frustrating. Oh, already lost 5. Oof. So sorry. Oh man, I'm sorry, Bob. Well, HC, you know, you are accustomed to the year-round summer weather, I'm sure. Oh, rare rainbows, that's even more frustrating. It's hard. It's hard getting fish in critters in winter. That is the tough thing here, because, like, you know, I want to mail order some fish from Wet Spot and stuff, and, you know, in Yakima it just was the next day postage, so it didn't really matter. But it's also like trying to find the seasonal time that's best for both of us, because, like, you know, you can ship and it'll be 65 in in Portland, and it'll be 100 and something here. And that, I don't want them to drop into, you know, here. Oh, Bob says they came from the wet spot, the first bad experience with them. Yeah, I wouldn't expect them to ship fish that weren't in top condition, but if they're super rare, they just might not have handled it well. But yeah, I mean, they should just make it to you in the next day. That just seems really, really odd for them. But that's too bad. I mean, it's like my shrimp order that came in, and I was not happy at all last week about. I really don't think. I don't think you can guarantee 100% of the time, you know, that it's good quality. But I hope they resolve it. Like, I hope they refund or send you more. That's unfortunate. I also don't tend to order the super rare stuff off their list, so I don't know if that's a pro or a con. I mean, honestly, I've ordered from Wet Spot once, which everything came in good except like one yellow shrimp was dead in the package. And then I've always just shopped at the actual store. So you did get all your money back, but you could, yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just like, so I ordered shrimp and snails from Flip Aquatics, and most of the shrimp came in okay. There were some deaths in the oranges, which is unfortunate because I feel for them. But all the snails were dead, and it's like, that's terrible. Like, I feel horrible for the snails. And then, you know, it was just like not a good experience. Where like when I ordered from Lucas, they came in a box. They had a heat pack. They were there. They were really quick and fast. You know, everyone came in healthy and absolutely perfect condition. I've had absolutely no losses. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, it taints your opinion, even if you know that this could have been in a 1 in a million chance with the one company. It's hard to want to reorder. I used to order, I mean, back in the day, I used to order from Live Aquaria, and I'd get great stuff. And then one time I ordered, and everything came in just in fish soup bags, you know, where it stinks and it's gross, and half of them are dead and awful. And I mean, they had an excellent return and guarantee, you know, where it's like, you know, I called and said they're not doing well, and they basically refunded all the money. But it's still like, I don't know if I want to order from you again. The quality wasn't there. So it's tough. It's like, you want to say, oh yeah, it's one of the, you know, that won't happen again, or whatever, or like maybe the new person was on the floor, and if you'd gotten the normal experienced person, they would have not even have shipped them, because they would have, you know, they would have let you know, oh, these fish need to be quarantined or given meds. So, you know, that's a tough call if you'd want to order again. But at the same time, there's one of the few places that actually has a decent rep, where most of the time the fish are in good quality, and that. Oh my goodness. Bob says one of the rainbows, the entire back was ghostly white. Pretty obvious something was wrong. Oh. Obviously they shouldn't have shipped them. Because obviously, I mean, as long as there was no delays in your postage, like you got it the next day, you know, they were in the mail for one day, that shouldn't have been, that shouldn't have happened. Oh, that's so frustrating. You know, and I mean, they ship all over the country because they do the aqua bid too. Yeah, Nisi, I miss my fish clubs. Like when I was active in fish clubs in the late 90s, you know, and I was doing killifish, so they're really a fish club sort of thing. I mean, hi Potato, boo to you too. Yeah, in the 90s, you know, like you would just go to each other's houses and we, you know, get stuff. You know, when I was in the Saltwater Club in 2000, you know, the first 10 years of 2000, you know, you'd get really great deals. One thing I've noticed here in Vegas is there's never a good deal. Like, people want every penny they spent on something back. Like, there was, I mean, just like a 55-gallon listed for like $600 used on the trading site. Now, there's definitely people that are like, they want to trade coral and they have an SPS and they want to trade it for another SPS kind. And that's like legit, like normal, like how aquarium forum groups should go. But there's so many people that just want to like get every buck back. I keep seeing like, yeah, Dink's right. Like, you go through Craigslist and you're just laughing. Like, Craigslist, the Facebook groups, the Facebook marketplace. I mean, I'm just like, I can go buy a freaking 240 brand new for that much money. And I don't have to worry about cleaning it out and what kind of fish shit you had it dealing with before you went, you know, you broke it down. I could pick my own sump. I could build it. I could do whatever I want. Like, I mean, I really feel like if I decided to go with a huge tank here, I would just buy new because there's no good deals and it's just safer. Yeah, I mean, that's the stuff. Like, I mean, I bought my 120 for $200 when I was in the fish groups in San Diego. Like $200. It came with a stand, a hood. I mean, they were DIY, but they were stand, hood, tank. You know, that's a deal. $2,000 for that is not a deal. I can go buy that new. I bought a 120 new. I mean, God, that was a billion years ago. But I bought the stand and the tank brand new from my local fish store, and it was like $1,500, $2,000. So, you know, yeah, I mean, that was like I said, a million years ago. So Bob says tanks aren't cheap in Cali. Well, I don't think they're cheap anywhere. Or tanks are cheap in Cali in some places. Yeah. Yeah. People are like, the gravel's for free, and you're like, it's clown puke gravel. I don't want that. Bob says he's in desperate need of a 4-foot 120. I thought you had like 3 of them in your garage. Or you only got 2, so you need another one to make sure you have 3 in your garage. And I hope you know I'm poking fun and not trying to be mean. Yeah, you should pay me for taking the gravel. The only time that was nice is when I was doing saltwater. So a lot of times when I was setting up my 120 saltwater, I'd find people that were breaking down and I'd buy their live sand and their live rock for like $20. And I'm sure they you know, I mean, there were times where they're like, yeah, $2 a pound. And I was like, well, how much for all of it? And they're like, $25. And like, there was like 100 pounds of live rock, you know? So you'd get a really good deal that way. But, and then like, you didn't need all of their crushed coral and gravel sand, but it was just to get the sand bed started. But it's definitely, you know, it's so different here. I mean, I mean, maybe if I was a little bit more active in the saltwater group, which I might be able to next quarter because I don't teach on Monday night, that I can get to a meeting that, you know, someone would be able, you know, then you are like, oh, I'm getting rid of this, and you're like, oh, I'd like to start that. Could, you know, can you cut me a deal? Oh, Potato says Bob's go suck up to custom aquariums. They give them away if you know how to ask. No kidding. I mean, okay, so I think we all probably feel this way. Like, part of me thinks it's awesome that Custom Aquariums is decking out like Jenny at a Solid Gold and, you know, Joey at DIY, King of DIY. But at the same time, I'm like, I know how much that shit costs, and I'm fucking jealous. Like, do a customer draw, like enter to win a new racking system, and you have to guarantee you post the video or whatever, or, you know, like Fluval did, where you posted a video of why you would want to try this or need this or whatever. I mean, I get online advertising. I watch a lot of beauty channels where they get free shit all the time. But at the same time, it's like, you're giving away $10,000, $15,000 or more in free stuff to other people, and you're like, yeah, I don't know if I really want to support that. So Dank says, I'm gonna order an Amazon puffer, but I'm scared. Oh yeah. You need Corey to mail you one, which he won't do, because if he does it for one person, he'll do it. He feels like he has to do it for everyone. Same way, he's breaking down that fish room, and I was like, don't give away those. You're like, I want that colony of, what was it? The colony of the Claroplecos? I would have taken that in a heartbeat. And then it's like, I mean, he's selling them at his store, which doesn't mean someone isn't coming in and getting it, but you know how hard it is to get females? Not if you don't tell anyone. And then everyone's gonna be like, where'd you get that beautiful Amazon puffer from? And then you're gonna be like, oh, I can't say. Hi Joel, how you doing this lovely morning? How is summer treating you? My local fish store. Well, I gotta wrap up here in a minute, so, because I've got to go to work thing. They're doing a Christmas party at work, but it's like kind of mandatory to go to the end of the year event. You can dream, we can all dream that we can get really awesome stuff from, well, Frank, it extra sucks because I don't normally work on Fridays, and I need to put in final grades, which I was like, oh, I could get that done. But I haven't finished grading 2 of my classes yet, so I need to get those done as well. Yeah, hashtag get Dank a puffer, definitely. It's 1 a.m. in India, 1 a.m. on Saturday. Well, I'm sorry you're awake. I'm sorry you're awake at 1 a.m. Why are you awake at 1 a.m.? Yeah, everyone needs a puffer. I need a puffer. I need a puffer so bad. Do you think puffers and a colony of plecos could go together? They kind of eat different things. Only for Frank. Frank, you can share the puffers. Oh gosh, you guys are funny. This is why, like, I don't even need like a topic to do these live streams. You guys just entertain me. Candy has pea puffers and loves them. I've thought about the pea puffers, but I really think I want to do a little bit bigger puffers, or a big enough tank so that I can have a large group of them. Oh, the puffer decisions. Frank, if you're not nice, we'll lock you in Joel's attic. Dank, why do Corvus fans think you hate him? I don't think you hate Corvus. Or did I miss something this week too? And I hate working nights. I can't keep up on my live streams. So evidently, all of us that just don't know what someone was going off on. I mean, I think you were trying to start something with me yesterday when I said I want the long fin red super reds, and you're like, the short fins are better. Yes, I'm a firm believer that there needs to be a font for sarcasm. Like, it needs to be like backwards italics or something, just so you know, like, when you're doing online stuff, that you can that people can like read that. And so I think it's you know, the irony there is that anyone that knows and has been on Joel's channel long enough knows that you don't think his show sucks, right? So, you know, I think it's most people got the sarcasm. Yeah, I have short fin normals or calicos or whatever, the standard brown chocolate pebbled look, and then I have a long fin albino, which I adore, and so I want a new variety, and that's why I was like the long fin super reds. I mean, I would accept long fin blue-eyed albinos or long fin green dragons or something. I'm really just a big fan of bristlenose plecos and would like a breeding colony. And Potato gave the last of his super reds to Joel, which, I mean, the man has enough aquarium space for all the plecos on the planet, really. Well, not really, but in the standard over-exaggeration. Nisi says, you can't hate on regular chatters if you're a regular watcher and don't chat. That seems to make sense in my head. Yeah, I mean, I think if you really watch Joel's show and participate in chat, and I don't know, I mean, I'm regular when I'm able to catch it live. It's hard for me to watch Joel's streams after the fact because I want to put in my 2 cents and I can't. And it's like, I feel like I need to like write all of like the bullet points and then put it in comments because it's like, oh, I want to respond to that, and I can't do that. But Dank says Fish Nerd hooked him up with some super reds and some cherry shrimp a while back. That's awesome. I mean, I think that's basically like what the fish fam has to do for each other is we have to facilitate what the local club used to do, you know? Like, we need to be willing to attempt getting stuff to each other, or, you know, and I know some of that's hard because like shipping can be really frustrating. When I used to breed my albino cories, I attempted shipping and like 2 of them went great and 1 of them everything arrived dead, and it was just like so disheartening because those were my babies that I didn't want to ship anymore. But at the same time, like, some of shipping stuff has gotten a lot better. But I do, like, I mean, I understand, like people that decide not to ship in December because of the postage delays and, like, that they won't guarantee stuff. So Dank says his 55 is a shrimp tank. That would be awesome. It's actually kind of funny. So I have the blue dreams, and then I have the reds, and then I have the oranges. And like, I see Joel's videos where he has so all of those cherry shrimp in that big tank, and I was like, I want a population like that. I want it so you can see them wherever they are. The blues I can almost always find. There's always at least 1 or 2 reds I can spot. But man, those oranges, they're tough. And there's 20 of them in a 10-gallon. You'd think like 2 per gallon. I should be able to spot more than like 1. But hopefully they'll reproduce and I'll get 100 of them. And then that, because like kind of the goal is that any overpopulation in these little tanks would then move into like the 75 and become like a Skittles tank. The 55 also has a ton of blue rams. Blue ram's horns? Oh, blue ram snails, okay. First I was like, blue rams, and then horn, what? Evidently need more coffee. Anybody want some? Yeah, I'd probably take some blue ram's horns. I don't have blues either, I have the red ones. And I think Nisi promised me some mystery snails too. Probably should wait till after Christmas to mail anything though. I see we're all like, yeah, we'll take some snails. But that's like, someone was like, oh, I'm looking for microworms or whatever. And I was like, dude, I'll mail you a starter culture. Like, it's so easy for me to get you microworms. Like, all I need is a little Tupperware to-go container and I'll send it off and you'll have it in, you know. Jennifer gets all the snails. Jennifer likes snails. And then someday when I get my puffer, I'll have puffer food. But meanwhile, I have cute little snails. I have a ram's horn that's literally almost the size of a quarter. It's so big. I've had it for like a couple of years now. You guys have got to see this. We have the grumpy kitty face. Say hi, Lavender. She's watching me because she can't get in front of the camera. Yeah, the mystery snails are hard to, it's hard to find pet stores that sell them, and then when you do find some, sometimes they'll bring in really nasties. Like I said, like I got some from like PetSmart or Petco, and they had leeches. And now granted, if you put the leeches, most likely if you have active big fish, they'll eat them, but if you don't, it's really gross. Well, maybe HC, if you ask real nice, Nisi might get you some, because I think it'd just be fun that Alaska sends Hawaii a package. Hi, Susan. Glad you could stop by. We're talking about our snail wishes. Potato says he could send more than 1,000 ram's horns if you want an already made colony. I don't really need an already made colony, but I could probably take 100 off your hands. Oh yeah, the exotic color patterns. Well, I mean, it's originally why I ordered one white-bodied dark-shelled and one dark-bodied light-shelled, because if you mix those two, you eventually get like the whole rainbow. Kyle has purple. Ooh, purple's pretty. Purple's a dark body with the white shell, and it's really pretty. I just like that they come in a rainbow of colors and that you can propagate them. And I thought it would be really nice to grow them in the Pearly Ocellatus tank, because I can keep the water down a couple inches without it being a big deal, because it's a 55 and they're pretty tall. And yet at the same time, I don't have to, you know, worry. Like the Ocellatus won't eat the snails unless they're dying. And if they do die, they'll use the shells for their little caves. So it works out kind of nicely. Oh yeah, I'm not sure on Hawaii's policy for shipping and snails. Well, HC, I agree with you. Purple anything is cool because, you know, that's the color of my hair. It's my favorite color. I literally have just about everything purple that I can. Don't have purple shrimp except in my painting. My painting is a purple shrimp. It's hard to point on this. There, purple shrimp. The only purple shrimp I found are like, they're a type, kind of like, they're a very small shrimp and they're brackish saltwater. You have $100 a year permit so you can bring in livestock. Whew, damn, that's, I mean, I guess it's not a lot different than like spending $100 a year on Amazon Prime, but I mean, at least you have the ability. One-eyed, horned flying purple people eater. I feel like on is not the correct word in that sentence. Yeah, I would assume. I mean that they even offer that, I guess, is nice, because otherwise you just not have anything. You know, you couldn't get anything. So, you know, I've had friends that, or I've had friends that have sold puppies to Hawaii, and they have to like pre-quarantine them, and then they get quarantined there. It's just a big pain. So I'm sure Nisi will help hook you up. I have got to go because it takes 10 minutes to drive to work, and I need to find my shoes and get my papers in order. So sorry it was short today, but I will catch you guys. I think I'll take the stuff to live stream from my parents. So if I'm at my folks, Lavender's getting in the camera. If I'm at my folks, I think I'll still try to stream, stay in touch. So have a great day. I'm glad you all came and made it out. Lavender, you're gonna knock things over. Oh, sorry for the cat butt. See y'all guys tonight on Joel's stream, and have a wonderful weekend, and you know, happy holidays if I don't see you before then. Bye.